Crooning in the shower is not Chad Verghese thing. That's why, when he learned earlier this year his monthly rent would go up $300 so the new owners of his La Mesa apartment could upgrade his bathroom with a sound system, he was bemused.
$300 for, I think an iPod has less than that. Everybody's got a phone now and like an iPod, Everybody's got something. Who needs a Bluetooth speaker in their apartment? It's weird.
This VA employee and surfer was also, as he puts it, bummed.
The amount it was going up didn't match the condition of the apartment. If you're gonna live downtown, you're expecting a baller apartment, right? Super nice stuff, vaulted ceilings. You're probably driving a Ferrari, so it's awesome.
But he felt powerless to challenge his new landlords on the rent hike.
Who's gonna tell him no? There's no rules to how far your rent can go up.
That's true in most California cities, and a statewide measure that would have allowed cities to impose rent control failed in November. Now, talk is underway about putting a law on the books that would bar California landlords from raising rent beyond a certain percentage.
Since it seems like rent control seems to give people pause, we are declaring that we have a housing emergency and that we are going to talk about anti-rent gouging regulations.
Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf said at a mayor's forum in November the rule would mimic current limits, barring businesses from raising prices by more than 10% during natural disasters.
Just like when there's a fire, you pass an anti-rent gouging ordinance. The state has had a fire. It's called a housing crisis.
At that same forum, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti said voter rejection of a rent control initiative last year is no excuse for complacency.
It is not going to be good enough to just say, well, the voters spoke. We have a problem we have to confront.
Garcetti wants the state legislature to approve an anti-price gouging rent cap, and it appears backing of such a cap is building. Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco says legislators are mulling over whether to pitch a bill that would classify rent increases in the state as if they were occurring during an emergency. He says the state is short millions of homes.
That shortage is leading to displacement, evictions, people becoming homeless, working families leaving, young people not having stable housing.
Wiener says the obvious solution is to build more housing.
Until we get there, we need to take action to keep people stable in the housing that they have.
Landlords don't like the idea. Dan Fowler, president of the Apartment Owners Association of California, called the proposal for an anti-gouging rent cap welfare for tenants. Even housing advocates like Rafael Bautista of San Diego's Tenants United worry, but for another reason. He says the state still needs real rent control that restricts annual increases to 2%. He believes that the proposed anti-gouging cap is a ruse.
They're basically a watered-down version so that we don't pursue rent control, because they'll point to that and say, we have these measures in place, why do you still need rent control?
Back in La Mesa, Chad Verghese thinks the cap would be a good start.
Obviously, people are buying these properties to make money. It's a business game, and this is America. You should be able to do that, right? But at the same time, though, you shouldn't be just crushing people.
Verghese moved out of his apartment following the $300 rent increase, but his new place just got new owners. And now he's nervous that could mean a new rent increase. AMITA SHARMA, KPBS News.